Hey again, YouTube, it's Tempest. Okay, so this is going to be a clan analysis video, sort of, for Kagero. I've been recently come across some good cards, way multiples of stuff I already have. And in trying to fix my grade 3 lineup, I've really come across some significant findings I think I need to share. Um, so I'm gonna get to it because I don't want to run out of time. I might have to break this video into two parts based on how much content there might be. So I'm gonna go over my basic lineup for a lot of stuff, and then I'll talk about changes and things to separate maybe some other stuff. Yeah. Um, Basically, this is gonna be going over some other stuff that I found when I was doing testing and whatnot with my Goku decks and my Lawkeeper deck and what I found. So, okay, that's all set up. Alright, I'll get to it now. Starting Conroe. Okay, I should know that this video is probably going to end up being what to do, how to play both types of decks, because what I've noticed in the videos is that that's quite a glare. Kagero decks can be run together or differently. And while I will say Lawkeeper is my favorite Vanguard for them, um, having tried Goku, I think that the synergy that each deck has with each other kind of differs. So I'm going to go over the differences between the two for you mainly, but your starters can run both ones. Um, Trigger lineup consists of 8 crits, 4 draw, and 4 heal for both decks. For the Lawkeeper deck, I decided to go with 4 Tar, 4 Draco Kid, and 4 Monica. Um, Ideally in the Lawkeeper deck, you want to go and save your counter blasts for the Lawkeeper Limit Break. So running the Gatling Claw Dragon wastes counter blast as far as I'm concerned. You just want to save it for the Limit Break and just go for it, I found. So I'm running Monica instead of that. In the Goku deck, I'd rather be running probably 4 Raksha, because in that deck you don't counterblast as much with your Vanguard, so that gives you a lot of free counterblasting to do with your grade 1s and 2s. And then with 4 Berserk Dragon and 3 or 4 Kimnar, you can be counterblasting a lot, so that'll give him the ability to get hit 6k or even 9k. And then 4 Gatling Claws, same reason, you don't waste your counterblast, so he actually becomes viable in the Goku deck as far as I'm concerned. And then for grade 1s, for my Lawkeeper deck, I'm doing I'm doing 4 bar, 3 Gojo, 2 Kimnar at the moment, but these are gonna come out for Iron Tail Dragons, and I'll explain why in a second. And then 4 Perfect Guard. And then in the Goku deck, I would run probably 4 bar, maybe 3, not sure yet. I might run Gojo, not sure yet. I need to find more Dragon Magadana Joka. She's 6k and she gains 3k every time one of your opponent's rear guard is retired. So she's decent for boosting. If the 2 of your opponent's guys get retired during the main phase, she goes up to 12, so that's pretty good. So I might consider using her. And then if I don't use Gojo, that would be Madonna or Iron Tail Dragon. And then because Kanara in the Lawkeeper deck just doesn't really do much. It lets you kill one rear guard permanently, but it wastes the counter blasts off of your Lawkeeper that you need. Okay. And then grade 3s, probably for both decks, this will be the same. 4 Nehalem, 3 Garp. For the Lawkeeper deck, 3 Tejas because it's free. It's a sniper. It basically lets you retire the pesky grade 1s that you need to retire. Forces your opponent to guard against you. Some would say Berserk Dragon's better. But the fact that it wastes 2 counter blasts, and when you call or ride it on turn 2, you don't always have the 2 damage you need for it. Um, that's kind of bad. So that's why we're running Sages over Berserk Dragon. Um, and then in the but in the Goku build, you know, of course we're running Tejas. I mean not Tejas, sorry, Berserk Dragon, the Goku build, because you don't need the Counter Blast in that deck. And then finally for the Lawkeeper deck, I would do probably, I only have 3 Lawkeeper, but I'd probably do 4, and then probably 4 Arc Dragon. And then since I only have 3 and 3, I'd probably go, you know, 2 Overlords, just because it's Overlord and it's consistent. But you know, I'd rather have something else. I actually probably have, I'd rather have Dragonic Executioner, which is a 10k rear guard, which gains 2k when it attacks an opponent's Vanguard. So I'd probably rather have him than the Overlord personally. Okay, and then in the Goku deck, you know, I'd probably rather have the 4 Goku, and then I'd probably have 3 or 4 Waterfall, and then of course the 2 Executioner or 1 Executioner if I need 4 Waterfall, or like if I run 3 Waterfall, it'll be 2 Executioner. If it would be 4 Waterfall, it'll only be 1 Executioner. All right. So this might be a little confusing for you. I'll try and lay it out. The clan is split up into 2 main groups that I'm going to be discussing. Lawkeeper's Limit Break is a counterblast 1, and if you have 4 more damage, you can bind all your opponent's rear guards. And then during the end phase, they can call 4 of them back. So that's one of the best limit breaks in the game. We're going to try and save up damage to use his ability as much as possible during the late game. The ideal field for your Lawkeeper deck is going to be him in the Vanguard circle, and then your Arc Dragons on the rear guard, or the Arc Dragon and the Dragonic Executioner. So you're going to need your bar behind your Executioner. And then your bar preferably behind your Arc Dragon or your Lawkeeper, so they can be hitting for 21 in case the opponent has a 11k Vanguard. You're gonna need Gojo for the boosting power and also for the ability to discard and draw, and that will help you search out your Executioner, your Arc Dragons, and your grade 1s. I've been running Kanona, like I said, but in this case, Iron Tail Dragon is better because it's a 7k that you can counterblast 1 to make it gain 8k. So at a counterblast 2, it pushes Executioner over the limit it needs to hit the 21 mark in case your opponent has a grade 3 with 11k Vanguard. So that's helpful. Yeah. Since this is what your field will look like late game. Sorry, hold on a second here. So this is what your field's gonna look like mid-late game. You're gonna want to get this field ideally, you know, for your winning image or whatever. So the 3 Tejas are in here basically to ride as your Vanguard turn 2, or to call turn 2 and snipe their rear guard and then get rid of them, so you can have this field. Same with Garp, same with Nehalem. They're just there for your turn 2 ride. After that, you can use them to guard with, or you can call them until you get these guys. Simple as that. And Iron Tail helps with their boosting as well. Alright. So that's how you get the Lawkeeper deck to work. And like I said, there's no counterblasting in this deck except for the starting Conroe and the Lawkeeper Limit Break. Yeah, no counterblasting at all. Okay, so what's different in the Goku deck is that Goku's skill is when he's a grade 3 Vanguard, and when a Stripe Check reveals a grade 3, you can retire one of your opponent's grade 1 or 0 rear guards. So you can get rid of their pesky boosters and their, you know, stuff. So the Goku decks that I've been seeing are running him at 4. I only have 3 at the moment, but running him at 4 is ideal. And then my tech choice here would be Dragonic Waterfall. A lot of other decks are running the 2 Executioner, 2 Lawkeeper, or the 3 Executioner, 2 Lawkeeper. But honestly, Waterfall is a better choice here. Goku only hits 10k when he attacks. Waterfall's Vanguard skill lets him gain 3k when he attacks the Vanguard, so that's pretty nice. And then his other ability lets you discard a grade 3 from your hand to give him 10k. So what I'm thinking is turn 3 ride Goku, use his effect, keep riding him until you drive check a grade 3. And then once you drive check your grade 3, chances are it's going to be a Waterfall at some point. So at some point you ride your Waterfall. And then after that, you use his ability to, when he attacks Vanguard, he gains 3, and then you can use the ability to discard a grade 3 and give him 10k. And then after that, when you draw another Goku, you can ride the next Goku, drive check until you get the grade 3 um, that you need, and then ride another Waterfall, and keep doing that as needed until you run out of grade 3s, and then Waterfall will probably be your ending Vanguard because he still gains 3k when he attacks Vanguard, so that's always a good thing. To that extent, you could probably run both of these at 3 actually, and still get it to go off, but 4, maxing both of them is probably your best bet, because you want to have max consistency, and you want to be able to draw into both of these. And then I'd probably run Executioner in this build too, because it's a really strong rear guard. And not Tachikaze, sorry, Kagero doesn't really have that many strong rear guards except for Arc Dragon. But in this deck, even with all the counterblasting you're doing, the odds of you dropping your opponent's rear guards down to 2 or less. Sorry, I checked my timer. 2 or less is pretty low. So Arc Dragon should probably stay out of this deck and stick with Executioner because he's more consistent. You know, and he's the 2k, he's not 2k, he's 10k against 2 when he attacks Vanguard, don't forget that. Alright, so, then for the lineup for the Goku deck, definitely run, because like I said before, the only reason I'm running Tejas and Monica on the other deck is so that I don't have to waste my counter blast, but in this deck you can go all out, all out with Kinara, Terry the Great Ones, Gatling Claw for draw triggers, and then, like I said before, I'd even run Raksha as a crit trigger in case you need that extra 6k boost at some point. Then you can just get rid of it. If not, you can use it to guard with. Madonna Joka is potentially good. He lets the Executioner and your Vanguard waterfall for 20 and 21. And you need to do that. And then, what else am I doing here? With this, since you're running 9 grade 3s, you'd have to drop it down to probably, you could actually bump it up, sorry, to 11 grade 2s. So you could run 4 Nahal and 4 Garp, 3 Berserk Dragon, or 4 Nahal and 3 Garp, 4 Berserk Dragon, up to you. But don't run Tejas, because, you know, he's weak, and honestly, the only reason I'm using Lawkeeper is to save Counterblast, so, I think that's it, really. Kimnara at 3 for Goku, only because he's not a strong booster and you're gonna be playing your field. If you're gonna use Gojo, run him at 3 so you have room for the 4 perfect guards, and, well, not really 4 perfect guards, but so you have room for the third Kimnara mainly. But keep Bar at 4 for boosting and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my clan analysis for Lawkeeper versus Goku. That's my personal preference anyway. I like to counterblast, you know. But it's still a great way to run the deck, and if you ever find that you're having problems with your counterblasting and stuff, I'd switch over to pure counterblast free so you can use Lawkeeper multiple times. So that's the deck. Hope you enjoyed it, and happy card fighting. Please be sure to rate, comment, subscribe.